Last time on Digimon Survive. I don't have anything for the recap. Here's a picture of Lopmon being cute. And now to finish the story. Hello and welcome to the channel. We're back with some more Digimon Survive. Surprisingly, this is the first time this has happened. Starting the video in the middle of a fight. The funny thing is, I almost ended last episode on the dialogue box that led to this fight. This episode was so close to having a moment of, alright, let's get into the fight. Oh shoot, we're already in the fight. I wasn't ready for this so soon. Anyway, last episode we made it to the master. So we're gonna fight him, as we tend to do at this point in the game. But this time he's got helpers. But these helpers happen to have the abilities of Plutomon and Bolt Bautamon. And this is gonna be tough, because I gotta deal with those two along with the master. But I think we can do this. I have a lot of vaccine types with light moves. So this should be doable. You know what, I'm gonna approach from this way. We're gonna block first. We're gonna let them, oh shoot, actually blocking against this one doesn't matter. Pernicious Waltz is treated as a back attack. I should have realized. But this one on the other hand, I should be fine. Maybe I should have had you go on the left. I think we'll be fine if we can get close to the master. Thankfully, you are a vaccine type. I can't put my group too close together because of Pernicious Waltz. It has that area of effect, so let's go here. And you. Alright, let's see if we survive the first turn. Blocking, oh, you've got to be kidding me. If you can prevent him from attacking for a few turns, I would deeply appreciate it. It'd be awesome if this also affected the Kinzoku, since they are an extension of him. I don't think that really did much for me. 2020, 2100. And this also has a chance to freeze, which it didn't. Okay. Shoot. Was that smart? I don't know which way to turn now. We'll just hit him from behind with both of our characters. Oh, that does not do much. But clearly bringing Omegamon was the right thing to do. 504, 756. Let's restore our HP here. Let's do it together, Anubismon. Yes, Howie. Having you here gives me strength. This one's gonna be a problem. Ow. I could attack break. I think that might be the smart thing to do here. Unless he has an ability that makes that a problem. Damage plus stat negation or attack break, which is guaranteed. I think we gotta go for damage. That was a bad idea. This is a problem. Oh, thanks for doing a regular attack. Only 26% accurate? You gotta be kidding me. I gotta take the risk. Man. You know what? Considering how strong Omegamon is, maybe keeping the entire group together and having him hit both of the Kinzoku would be the smarter idea. Let's go here, so he can't hit me from behind. Since you guys can't really do anything to this one, we're gonna head straight for the master. If I have to redo this, I'm gonna keep the entire group together. You might be dead. Oh, you managed to survive. That's almost enough to kill it. Let's boost up. Omegamon, let's go! Yes, let's finish the fight, Takuma. I should have done that before I attacked. Oh well. Let's use an all-purpose ointment with you. Let's back up a little. So maybe I can avoid getting hit by both of these guys. This works. Oh, you can hit from there. Alright. You're gonna need to do what you can here. That does not do much. Let's break its attack. It's not much, but it's something. Haha! Uh-oh. As long as I don't have to deal with the status effect. And thankfully this hits. I'm so glad I saved the moral route. That guy's gonna close in. Why do you turn around when you do that? This takes off a huge chunk of his health. There's probably gonna be a fight after this, right? Here's some prime ribs. Keep your SP up. The guy's in attack range now. That's fine. Just keep up the damage. Wish I could restore more SP. I have 14 of these? Nubismon might have to jump in to help. My damage output might be a bit too low in order to win this. On the other hand, Omegamon's not getting hit. I have enough for another shot. I'll take this moment to restore my HP. Oh! Fully restores also includes SP. I thought it might, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to waste a turn healing Omegamon when he didn't need it. Oh! That does a lot. Thankfully that doesn't. So, Omegamon can attack. Gotta go for a regular attack though. Fresh Snakehead. Full heal. Come on, we got this. A pernicious waltz. I don't know why you're so focused on Anubismon, but I'm glad you are. Because that means this is gonna wrap it up. Unless I have to kill the Kenzoku. Ah, let's go. That went off without a hitch. Good job, team. Even if most of you were a distraction. We're definitely gonna make sure to save after that. What happened to him? Nope, not yet. It's him. So we managed to separate Haruchika and Fanglongmon. Honore de Kado! Sorry. He looks so cool.
愚かなり我の道を塞ぐ者どもめ。
お前はまさか。
さよう。我はハルチカ。
He's got the characteristic Manase purple eyes.
主は僕たちが倒した。お前の恨みもここで終わりにするんだ。
愚かなり主など所詮この世の断りに過ぎぬ。
I figured.
抗う力未だ尽きぬというのに破滅の呪縛にとらわれし我が半身ファンロンモンよいでよ。
Let's see what this looks like. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That is sick.
なんだあれは。
Wow, it's like it's covered in blood. With the horns there, the blades on its back. What I assume is its wing. Fanglongmon Ruin Mode.
この戦はまだ決しておらん。あとわずか、あとわずかなのだ。我が大願叶うその時は、そのためならば鬼とも修羅とも。
It's also got those wispy things surrounding him.
なんて姿なんだ。こんなの勝てるのか。
If it's just him, we should, right?
なんてまがまがしさなの。こんなのどうやって戦えば。
倒しがいがあるってもんだぜ。
なんだこの風。
Ooh.
なんたる好機。これこそ悲願を結ぶ扉よ。
Well, this is less than ideal.
時は来たれり。懐かしき風。扉の先に我は。
しまった。みゆき。このままじゃハルチカが僕らの世界に行っちゃう。
いいえ、大丈夫。私を信じて。お願いたくまさん。もう少しだけ主を食い止めて。
What have you got up your sleeve?
アグモ聞いたな。
行かせないぞ。
ドラクモンいけるな。
任せとけって。
さあ最後の戦いだ。
キュッキュッキュッ。
ラブラも頑張りましょう。ええ、大丈夫。私がついているから。わかった。フローラもいいところ見せちゃおうね。そうだね、ビシッと決めちゃおう。
ここが正念場ってやつか。あいつに勝てれば真のヒーローだ。
そうだなミノル。ロップもいけそうか。
うん、怖いけど修二と一緒だからなんとかなると思う。
Aw.
よし、それじゃあ最後の戦いだ。
話にすら劣る獣ごときが。
Let's do this. The actual final battle.
話
Whoa!
にすら劣る獣ごときが。
Now I see why everyone was so intimidated. That is way bigger than I thought it'd be. That's a symbol I don't recognize. No, excuse me? Level 95. 9,000 HP. Oh goodness. Halves target's elemental resistance and status abnormality resistance when attacking. Deals non-elemental damage to targets. That damage. Come on, that's so edgy. But it negates stat boosts. This guy's actually susceptible to stat reductions. Okay, I can't get hit by this. I need to get right next to him. I wish I could bring the whole team.
よし俺が行こう。
Either we unlock Agumon's final evolution in this fight, or it's a bonus for completing this route. I gotta get close. I almost considered using Chromon, but he's a lot weaker in defenses. Also doesn't have nearly as much HP, so Varudurumon.
対に勝つんだ。覚悟はいいか。
私の番でもっと守れる力を。行きましょう。
Gotta go in from the side.
オメガも終止符を打とう。
This music, I hear the motif. I might have to approach. Yeah, we're gonna use Ebenwumon. He's a lot slower, but his defenses are the only thing that'll keep me alive on the trek over there. Oh, he's blocking! Nice! Oh, he restores so much SP, I will not be able to SP stall him. What are your defenses like as Baihumon? It's higher. Maybe using the oh wow. His attack is also way higher as well. The key might actually be to use the Sovereign monsters. I did unlock them for a reason. What about you? Is it the same for you? Oh yeah. Definitely. Alright. We're swapping over. Let's start with an attack break. We're gonna move up and then switch to Baihumon. Should turn this way. I think we got this. Let's see if I can lower its defenses. Can I freeze him? He doesn't resist. Let's not waste my SP. It doesn't do much more damage than a regular attack, so... We're just gonna block right next to him. It'll take a while to whittle him down, but his damage output isn't much to be concerned about. Omegamon, let's go! Yes, let's finish the fight, Takuma! That's a pretty good boost. 1124, 1114. We're just gonna stick to regular attacks. Nice! Just gonna stick to the strat of blocking right next to you. You have high defense, so you can just afford to heal. He's stuck doing regular attacks because we're right next to him. Oh boy. I can keep this up for a while, actually. You're letting all the cold air in. Come on. It's freezing enough as it is.
そんなこと言ったってこのまま扉が開き続けたら扉の向こうから光が
Ooh! Right, I forgot about this.
知ってる知ってるめっちゃリアルだよなこれってさもしかして本物だったりして
The people's faith.
まさかでも本物だったらすごいよね
なんだこの声はこの音は
すごいすごい頑張れいや絶対作り物でしょでも本物にしか見えないよな
Are they watching this fight?
なんだというのだ
一体どうなってるんだ
What was that? That sounded like the sound effect that plays when I select something.
学校の友達から URL 動画サイトかこれは
Okay, I think it's the Piedmon fight. It's our fight with Piedmon back in our own world. I guess someone took a video.
これうまいじゃねたくまなんかお前の動画がすげえバズってんだけど
Woohoo, I'm famous!
嘘。
I'm an internet
こ
celebrity.
れやば。めっちゃ再生数伸びてる。世界中の人がアグモンやピエモンの姿を見たってことよね。
そうか、認知の力。
認知の力。
この世界は現実世界の人々の思い、認知によって形作られている。
Mm-hmm.
多くの人々がアグモンが存在することを知ったならばどうなるか。
He'd get supercharged.
どうなるんですか。
Oh, nice.
たくま、僕なんだか力がムクムク湧いてくるよ。
Oh, all of us are getting buffed. Nice.
今なら何でもできちゃいそう。
これは凄まじいな。
そして人々が私たちを応援する気持ち、温かく清らかな気持ちがハルチカの猛襲を晴らす。たくまさん、敵は弱ってるわ。畳みかけるなら今よ。
He's weakened and we got powered up.
わかった。行くぞみんな。
How much damage are we gonna do now? Please don't be cutscene only. Yes! That's noticeably more damage than before. Regular attack is still the way to go. Reduces your speed, but that's not exactly helpful here, so we're gonna keep doing what we were doing and just block. You're going to restore Yukihamon's SP. Oh, he's doing something different. He's like, alright, I gotta stop playing around here. Oh, that's really bad. But you go first, haha! You have the lower damage output, so we gotta use this. There's no reason to hold back here. Don't take the enemy lightly, Baihumon. I concur. They seem formidable indeed. We've almost got him. Team attack, nice. That's going, Minoru. If we don't keep our HP up, he can definitely take us out in one shot. We just got that surge of power, and Miyuki is still singing. What more can we do? Oh? What is that?
あの光はなんだ。
ようやく見つけられました。
Oh, Haruchika's sister.
光がみゆきに吸い込まれていく。みゆき、一体何が。
Yukiha.
みゆきの姿が変わった。
ハルチカ、ようやく会えました。ああ、愛しき弟よ。
まさかハルチカの姉ユキハ、その意識が姉さんに憑依したのか。
今さら
ファンロン
門から黒い瘴気のようなものが吹き上がっていく。
ああ、なんということ。これなる瘴気こそハルチカを高ぶらせる災い、戦乱の世に散り、憤怒と怨嗟を抱えたあまたの魂、その黒き怨念、我がすべて引き受けましょう。
Is that alright? What's gonna happen to you if you do that?
タクマ、ファンロンモンが。
ファンロンモンの力が抑えられていく。
どうかハルチカを、弟をお願い申し上げます。皆様助けてください。
まだ決しておらん。
That one kind of hurt. Nice. Haruchika. This blade is the blade that will cut through your hatred. Go, Omegamon! Sanctified Sovereign. Beloved Crystal.
Fanglongmonの体から瘴気がすべて抜け出ていく。やった、僕たちは勝ったんだ。
見たまえ諸君、ファンロンモンが本来の姿へ戻っていく。
Whoa. I definitely like this look a lot more.
これにて安寧は戻りました。この地を取り巻きし憎悪の念は消え去ったのです。今後は正しき姿のファンロンモンがこの世界を守り続けるでしょう。ですがその前にあるべき姿に戻りましたね。ファンロンモン。
稲瀬の巫女か。久しいな。
Music is really drowning out the voices here.
遠き子孫の身をひととき借りて今こうして見舞いに立っています。弟が旅立ってから大切なハルチカ、あの子を思わぬ日は一日とてありませんでした。けれどこの身には家を継ぐ責務があり、家を守り民の安寧を守り、人のしがらみに縛られ、そしてようやく自由を得た頃には我が身はとうに老いてしまったのです。
Just like the professor.
ゆえに子孫に託したのか。再会の願いをつくづくけん。
承知しています。ゆえに因果をねじ曲げ、ここに立っているのです。愛しきハルチカを今一度抱きしめるため。さあ、我が弟の対なる獣ファンロンモン、ハルチカを返してくださいませ。
とのことだ。おう、聞こえているのだろう、ハルチカよ。汝が念願は今こそ叶う。長き苦悶と憎悪の日々はここに終わるのだ。
主の体から光が、ハルチカの霊が飛び出していく。
He's finally free.
姉上、
ハルチカ。
姉上、私は なんということを。
過ぎたことです。もう良いのですよ。
私が抱いた恨みの念が世を滅ぼさんとしていたと、いくら詫びても償いきれませぬ。
ハルチカ。
元来人と獣は一つのもの。獣は人の半身であり写しも。獣はいつでも半身を認めてきたのだ。人は獣を見つめることだ。己を見つめる。人が己を認めることで、そこに誠が生まれる。そう、誠だ。信じ合うからこそ人はさらなる高みへと至るのに。なのに私は水瀬の子、我が子孫に遺恨を残すような恐ろしいことを。
ハルチカ。
もう良いのです、ハルチカ。その涙だけで十分ですよ。
Yeah, most of that wasn't even your own malice, so I can overlook some of what you did. And don't worry, we'll fix your mistakes.
姉上、私を止めてくれた子らよ。
はい。
久しき時の因果にくさびを打ったそなたになる。世を平定させる力があるやもしれん。
We will. I can guarantee that.
後のこと見守らせてはくれぬか。そなたらが許してくれるならば。
Sure.
もちろん、我も共に。
You can at least watch over this world.
姉上。
さあ、ハルチカ、行きましょう。今度こそ心安らげる場所へ。戦乱の世はもう終わったのです。後のことは子供たちに任せましょう。
はい。はい。姉上。
If you two are gonna pass on to the afterlife, please leave Miyuki with us.
本当にありがとうございました。この世界を救ってくださって、おかげで弟と再び会えました。またあの頃のように共にいましょう。皆様はどうかいつまでも仲睦まじく生きてくださいませ。
I really like Haruchika's look. I wish we got to see more of him. Oh well, that's how it goes when you're a true route only character.
姉さん、大丈夫か？
ハルチカたちはもう光の中へ。
そうか。
Whoa.
なんだ。
主が正しい姿となり、扉が開いたことによって二つの世界がつながったんだ。それにより現代文明の影響がこの世界へ急速に流入しているのだろう。
流入じゃないわ。融和が始まったの。
A merged world ending, but I have a feeling this one's gonna be much brighter than the other two.
人間と魂の片割れである獣たち。世界と異世界の融和が始まって、ゆっくりではあるけど、世界は変わり始めるの。
どういうこと？
つまり最古の壁画にあったように、世界は本来あるべき姿に戻るのだよ。
それはつまり人と獣神が一緒に生きる世界に。
ああ、人々が獣神という存在を受け入れるにはまだ時間がかかるかもしれないが、
But we'll be there to help the process along.
先ほどのタクマくんの映像などで受け入れる土壌はできているかもしれないね。
獣とアグモンたちと一緒に。そうか。それはきっといいことなんでしょうね。でもこっちから見届けることは僕らにはできない。
It's time to finally
僕
return
らの世界には
for
待ってい
good.
る人がいる。家族が、友達が、そして何よりこの融和の影響を受 くの人々がいるだろうから。
たくま、
それに久しぶりに母さんのカレーを食べたいしね。
そっか。
アグモン、今までありがとう。君がいなければここまで来れなかったよ。
僕はここでたくまとお別れなの？
If so, it won't be for long. I can guarantee that.
何を言ってるんだよ。もちろん一緒に決まってるだろ。
Right, this is the merged world ending. These are the ones where we don't have to split up.
母さんのカレーは絶品なんだ。アグモンも食べてみたいだろ。
いいの？
だって僕と君はかけがえのない相棒、パートナーなんだから。
たくま、うん、僕も食べたい。
ファルコモンも行こうぜ。俺らが住んでいる町はここより賑やかなんだぜ。
ああ、無論だ。どこまでも一緒についていこう。
ねえ、ラブラも待って、言わなくてもわかるわ。もちろんずっと一緒なんだから。
Labramon is the best dog ever.
でも一緒に行こうぜ。嫌だって言わせねえぞ。
I wasn't gonna say no. That's what that cue meant.
ドラクモ、どうする？お前もって言わなくても感じてるか。
まあな、俺たちは腐れんだ。
シャコモンも来て。
ロップモンを連れて帰ったら家族は。いや、そんなのは関係ない。
Hell yeah.
だってロップモンのおかげで今の自分がいるんだから。
You also wouldn't be alive.
修二、フローラももちろん来るわよね。何聞いちゃってるのよ。分かってるくせに。
ガブモン、
秋春。
Ugh, fine, if I have to.
二つの
Where's Runnemon?
そうか。僕たち人間と獣神を隔てるものはなくなるんだよな。
それってどんなことなの？
Good question.
考えてみたんだけど、この先僕たちやアグモンたちみたいにパートナーとして出会える人たちが増えてくる。
Yep.
そんな気がするんだ。
その可能性は高いと言えるだろう。当たり前のようにそばにというわけにはいかないかもしれないが、
It will eventually.
それでも自分の半身と世界を隔てることなく出会える可能性がある世界になるだろう。
Maybe with Fanglongmon watching over everything, that'll be more likely to happen.
そもそも彼らと我々は互いに補い合う半身同士のような存在なのだから。
I mean like watching over things properly.
それって新しい世界で新しい時代が始まるってことか。
たくまさんたちがその最初の世代になるのね。
The first of the new dang it. The first of the new generation.
楽しみだな。よし、みんな帰ろう。僕らの家に。
Miyuki, go stand next to your partner.
僕たちのサバイブは一旦ここで終わりだ。
Well said, Takuma. It feels like ages have gone by since that day, though I guess it's only been a year. Still, even in just that short span of time, the world has changed in countless ways. The shrine! Things were a bit chaotic at first, but by now, humans have started to accept them. To accept monsters as trusted partners. Nice. Hello.
まったく、こんなど田舎だったとはな。
そういうこと言っちゃダメだと思うよ。
でもさ、変なこと起きないよな。大丈夫だよね。
Probably. I think all the malicious Digimon are gone now.
何ビビってんだよ。
If we're lucky.
まあ、その気持ちはわかるけどな。なんてったってここはさ、あの神隠し事件があった場所だからな。
そんなに嬉しそうに言わないでよ。あの噂をちゃんと知ってるの？
も ちろんだって。だからワクワクするんだろ。確かこの辺りでモンスターに出会ってすごい冒険した人たちがいるんだろ。
It's not as fun as it sounds. I don't think any Digimon adventure is as fun as it sounds. Because even way back in the old anime, it's all been about survival.
ネットによるとデジタルモンスターデジモンだったかな。それと出会った人たちが最後には最強のモンスターに勝ったとか。
それってすげえと思わねえ？はあ、俺もモンスターに会ってみたいよな。
Don't you guys want to be RPG protagonists too? Find a partner, get stronger, fight a god? That sounds amazing. I don't know, seems kind of dangerous. Yeah, I'm with him. You guys are no fun.
でもそんなにいいことばかりじゃないって聞いてるんだけど、気性の荒いモンスターに出会うと襲われちゃうって。
なんだよ、ビビってんのか？じゃあなんでついてきたんだよ。
そりゃ会ってみたいから。
Still want to see one.
私も。
だろ？だからめんどくさい課外キャンプを口実にさ、この場所に来たんじゃないか。
Great, we've managed to trick a bunch of kids into going camping.
そうなの？
そうさ。って、今の声。
ここだよ、ここ。
What are the odds that they're partnered with the amusement park kids? Whoa, Vmon!
まさか。
Well, it's, previous form. I have no idea what this is called.
あの噂って。
本当だったんだ。
こんにちは。
Demi Vmon.
僕、ちびもん。待ってたよ。やっと会えたね。
It's so cute. Generation of the future. Complete a truthful route to the next generation. Wow, that's the end. We don't get to see what happened to our own party members. Maybe after the credits, but alright, that's the end of the game. I'm gonna toss it over to Future Rag now for post-game thoughts. Hello, Future Rag here with post-game thoughts. We finally did it! After 2 years, 2 hiatuses, and 2 straight months of grinding, we finally completed the story of Digimon Survive. A big thanks to everyone who watched the series, and if any of you have been around since the beginning, you're insane, but thank you especially. I definitely could have treated this Let's Play better. It wouldn't have taken nearly as long if I didn't sidetrack myself with other games. I told myself, oh, these games won't take long to play, and I was right, but actually getting the videos out was a different story because I was on limited data back then. At the very least, I'm glad I found a good workflow and got a better mic while this series was going on. I can look back on these videos fondly. We set some pretty crazy records with this series. Aside from having the most episodes, it also obliterated the record for most views in my playthrough series. The previous record was 590 views, held by episode 4 of Sonic Frontiers. Episode 39 of Digimon just shot up in views in the blink of an eye, and it stagnated at 980 views. Almost 1,000, which is an insane milestone for my Let's Play. My fighting game videos are the only ones that ever hit those numbers. It could very easily pass the threshold by the time a new contender pops up. Now for the usual breakdown of the game. I had so many thoughts for this one, it was overwhelming. It was hard to sort out my thoughts about the characters and the plot because of how much they intertwine. We're gonna talk about the characters starting with the Digimon. I definitely got some new favorites now. Agumon was fun. He brought a lot of good, lighthearted moments to balance out some of the tension. I started watching Digimon at the 2nd season, so I don't really have any nostalgia for the main Agumon line. Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon, they're all really cool, especially War Greymon. Even without nostalgia bias, he's one I absolutely love, but I don't have a deep attachment to them. Terra Force was an absurdly fun move though. It was my first big AoE attack in the game, brought back a lot of fun memories of using Bolt and Shining Force. Machinedramon caught me so off guard. I did not expect him at all. I was so happy when I got him. He was one of my all-time favorites, and his attack range is absurd. He could snipe people from so far away. The SP recovery was really nice too. If I had gotten Tuskmon as my evolution at the start, I never would have expected to end up with him. Especially since the next evolution in the branch is either Megadramon or Gigadramon. I'd have been like, hold on, where's this going? Because Tuskmon isn't really mechanical. With how much time I spent using Triceramon, I started to like him a lot too. He was pretty solid. Dino Rexmon is absolutely a top 5 Digimon for me now. Might be my 2nd favorite next to Black War Greymon. He is ridiculously strong. Ogre Flame specifically boosting fire moves was a really unique effect that synergized well with War Greymon. And his passive boosted his regular attack enough to make it viable for damage. For Falcomon, I'm used to his other design. the black and purple one with the rounder head. After this game, I think I prefer this look for him. Loved his cool, level-headed personality, and his lines were some of my favorite to read, even if it was kinda difficult to speak at a higher volume with the voice I was doing. The Atreumon is a really cool evolution. I need to see it in more things. I love the armored bird look. I was already a fan of Crowmon, but I appreciate it even more now. All it took was hearing its Japanese name, Yatagarumon. Until this game, I never knew Yatagarasu, and by extension Crowmon, had 3 legs. It was a detail I never noticed until I saw his sprite here. The double movement ability was just amazing. As someone who likes to collect all the treasure on a map, I don't remember if I've ever seen Varadurumon before, but it looked really cool. As I've said before, I expected Raymon because of Minoru's whole hero thing. I liked Labramon a lot. Their personality was very dog-like, always doting on Aoi. It was really cute. All their evolutions were freaking crazy. I thought Dobermon had a bunch of eyes on it. After taking a closer look, there aren't nearly as many as I thought. Also, they're gems, not eyes. Still love it though. The sprite was really cute compared to the portrait for the evolution scene. They made it look so vicious in that one. Cerberusmon was cool. I liked the big claws. I especially like how Plutomon feels like a natural progression from these two. And then in contrast, Anubismon looks a lot smoother. There aren't really any sharp edges in her design. Her colors are a lot brighter too. It's like Aoi's desire for power was giving rise to something dangerous. The evolution could end at Plutomon, or Aoi's gentle nature could win out and the branch ends at Anubismon. I think Anubismon's thing is weighing people's hearts on a scale, so that's another cool little thing that pertains to Aoi's character. As we saw on the Wrathful route, she can be a sweet mama bear, or a complete tyrant that won't tolerate any mistakes. I don't have much to say about Floramon, one of my favorite designs for the rookie Digimon, but personality-wise, I don't think there was anything that made her distinctive. I think she just went along with whatever Saki was doing. Not like that's a bad thing though. Saki mentioned that she usually just says what she thinks people want to hear, so Floramon just going along with whatever she wants was probably refreshing for her. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure how accurate this assessment is. I like Vegemon less after playing this game. Why did they have to give her poop toss of all things? I guess it kinda plays into the joke of Saki not really liking Floramon's evolutions. I think Blossomon looked pretty good though, and it kept up and damaged pretty well for its evolution level. Ceresmon's healing effect was so damn good. Extra SP for every Digimon it heals, including itself. Not enough to refund a full move usage, but useful nonetheless. You know, maybe the thing about Saki not liking Floramon's evolutions ties into how she doesn't entirely like herself, and that feeling reflects in the evolutions until we build our affinity with her and she realizes that if all these people care so much about her, maybe herself isn't so bad. Chacomon. I never noticed before, but they kind of have a cat mouth. Like Floramon, she mostly just went along with her partner's antics, but she also gave some insight into what Miyu was thinking at times. Miyu's a kid, so she has to look out for her a little more than the other Digimon do. Shellmon was a nice tank. Its mouth was a little off-putting to me with how the upper and lower jaw connected by like strings of flesh. I really didn't expect that to turn into Mermaidmon. I know it's foolish to have expectations with Digimon evolutions, but I was still expecting something that looked tanky. I suppose you could say it's reflective of how Miyu was growing up and coming out of her shell. Then there's Marine Angemon, which indicates her kind nature. The way she fought to save the amusement park's residents and eagerly said goodbye to the school, it fits. I freaking love Dracmon. His dynamic with Kaido was so entertaining, and he was another fun one to voice. It's like he's the side of Kaido that wants to be mischievous and immature, but of course still look out for people and take things seriously when he needs to. I really wish Fanglongmon got an evolution portrait. Looking at other official art of him, he looks really cool, and he's the only second stage evolution that didn't get anything in this game. Myotismon caught me completely off guard. I wasn't expecting to go from Fanglongmon to him. And then there was Beelzemon. Like I said, I didn't think he'd be the next stage up from Myotismon, but it's also not surprising that he's here. I really wish I had more reason to use him. The limited movement range really hurts in the late game. Kunemon, what do I need to say about him? He's perfect. Just a cute, friendly little guy. Had a lot of fun saying "Kyu Kyu." Nothing to say about Flymon. I didn't have much opportunity to use him. Jewel Beamon was sick. Looked like a common rider, had a retaliation ability, and had a cool attack. And then we got something even cooler with Bancho Stingmon. I had no idea that was a thing. I could look up a list of what Bancho Digimon there are, but I think it's better if I just let myself get blindsided like this. That was an amazing surprise. Lockmon. Man, how could anyone have a negative emotion when they have that little guy as their hype man? He was trying so hard to encourage Shuji, even when he was being abused. Teruriamon, like Flymon, didn't get to see much use, because I got to the next evolution soon after. It was cool seeing Antilamon again. He was already one of my favorites. Tall, lanky, slightly creepy bunny with axe hands. I still need the lore on that last one. I prefer Cherubimon's other form. The design of his good form just doesn't appeal to me as much. He really tried hard to make me like him though, and he kind of succeeded. He was incredibly hard for enemies to hit, and his confusion effect was surprisingly consistent and useful. Now we can move on to the next topic, characters. I really like how Takuma wasn't a completely blank slate. He has his own personality, so you're able to get attached to him as much as anyone else. He was really going all in on the protagonist mindset with some of the things he said in the truthful route. I like how Minoru's growth is kind of subtle. Still the same jokester, but doesn't feel like a thing he does out of avoidance anymore. He can actually handle tense situations now, and became pretty reliable. Like the times he secured an escape route at the amusement park, or when he jumped in to help Shuji distract some henchmen. Aoi is the kind of character I have an inherent bias toward. The type that's relentlessly positive and determined to look out for others. Not in my top 3 characters characters of that archetype, but a good contender. Her being the leader in Takuma's absence was a pleasant surprise. It's not surprising that people would gravitate toward her, but I wouldn't have thought she'd be assertive enough for it. People listen to her, but it's still emotionally taxing, and the Wrathful Route shed an interesting light on that. She's so kind and thoughtful that she can't help but take on heavy burdens like that. So believe it or not, Saki ended up becoming my favorite character in the end. I think the scale started to tip with her dialogue in the Wrathful Route, but her final evolution event pushed it way over the edge. She downplayed how much her illness affected her so much, and we didn't really see it have a direct impact on her until that moment. She doesn't allow us to see her weakness until we become close friends. It was always really subtle prior to that. I thought she was the outdoorsy type with how extroverted and adventurous she is, but looking back you can see she usually gets exhausted before everyone else. Like the hiking moment, where you had the option to check on her, Lockmon, or Miyuki. I'm pretty sure my first thought there was, Saki's fine, and I didn't think much beyond that because of what was happening with Lockmon. Her dialogue is always fun too. You can clearly see how skilled she is in deflecting topics. Another strong point in her favor is that she's the only one whose design thematically fits their partner. Sure, some have matching colors, but if you look closely at Saki's portrait, you can see her dress has the vegetable gradient, going from white to green. Miyu. I was slightly worried she'd be an annoying little terror, but that was short-lived. She was really chill after she joined our party. But man, her backstory. I got that something really bad happened when she said being called cute by someone older was scary. Thankfully, I was wrong about who did it and how far it extended, but it could very easily have gone down that path if Kaido didn't step in. Speaking of Kaido, it's interesting how her reaction to getting slapped differed in the truthful route. It could be nothing, but it was such an obvious change that I don't think it could be. She looked indifferent in every other route. My guess is, it was a lot scarier that he did it in the truthful route because the group was holding up better, so he didn't have as much reason to be so fiercely protective of her. He's probably my second favorite character. The way he looked out for Aoi in the Wrathful route was really sweet. He was obsessed with finding Miyu, but once we got her back into the fold, he was kind of a big brother to everyone. Like Miyu said though, part of him just wanted an excuse to be violent. I saw it more and more with each route. After the moral route, it was, interesting insight. After the Wrathful route, yeah, what the fuck, he split the group just to fight the Kenzoku. After the Harmony route, oh, I see. The Professor. You guys have heard me say random thoughts under my breath, you know I can relate to him. I also have a bias toward friendly, elderly characters. I was pretty suspicious of him at first. They did deliberately hide his name after all. I thought he was the guy in the robes, but then we got some hints about his past and the robe guy turned out to be Piedmon. Garurumon, I kinda like the aloof personality he has here. His bitterness toward the Professor actually makes sense. If several days is only a few hours in the human world, the Professor was probably gone for over 100 years from his perspective. Along those same lines, it also makes sense why Renamon would go out the deep end in the second half of the game. She kept Miyuki out of harm's way for such a long time. Then we showed up. We end up bringing Miyuki with us into dangerous situations. But we managed to overcome powerful foes and prove to be reliable. Maybe Renamon starts to trust us a little. But then Miyuki gets snatched from right under our noses. At that point, the trust is damaged, but maybe not unsalvageable. After all, Takuma jumped into the fog to save Miyuki. We don't know what happens in the gap between that and our return, but we can assume the master didn't make any major moves. Renamon was probably happy thinking that Miyuki was finally out of danger for good. And then we came back, pretty much delivering her straight to the master. So then when the Professor's voice reached her, Renamon was probably like, what the fuck? These people are the reason this happened to you in the first place. I kept you safe for all these decades. This isn't fair. With all that in mind, it's no surprise she was desperate enough to try bargaining with the master. Trade the people who endangered Miyuki for Miyuki? Of course she tried at that point. Anyways, Ryo. I love how you can see his nice side shine through even when he's absolutely losing it. They say you see someone's true personality in desperate situations, and what I saw was someone who was worried about other people's safety, and not from a more numbers is better for survival perspective. It was really great having him around in the truthful route. He's snarky but thoughtful. Shuji actually managed to grow on me. What he did to Lockmon was awful. I still want to smack him for it, and I'm ecstatic Ryo did it for me. But I understand where it came from. He hates how his father looked down on him and wants to be a strong leader to gain his approval. Then he sees this creature that's a reflection of himself and it's a cute, fragile little bunny. His mistreatment of Lopmon was because he hated himself. I appreciate how we didn't thrust him into the leadership role after that arc. He's taken the time to find out what being a leader means to him. He will take charge at times, but he allowed the burden to be passed to someone else because he knows he can't handle it yet. Very mature. Unlike the sentiment that he should be leader just because he's the oldest. That statement is aimed at everyone in our party. We can finally move on to the plot. I've already covered some things in the character segment and there's still so much to unpack. The angle they went with for this game was very interesting. They're Kemonogami instead of Digimon. We're not in a digital world. It was affected by the internet in the end, but the place existed long before then. The villains were all fantastic, even Dokugumon. He was the first real threat and the atmosphere felt really tense. Manzaimon actually felt intimidating too. I think that was entirely because of his voice though. Haruchika played her role really well. A pain in the ass that's difficult to get rid of and pulls the most underhanded tactics you can think of. Gaining trust with a human disguise, breaking our spirits with illusions. Piedmon was awesome. I still never seen season 1 of the anime, so I never got to experience him in the villain role. He was amazing. Fantastic voice. voice, scarily strong, and was so vindictive he continued causing problems for us when he already had a foot in the grave. I still believe the master has a passive maddening effect. Some of the characters spiraled too hard for him not to. It seemed to happen in the memory passage as well, and it all stems from the master himself. I think that actually backfired on him. The actors behind the illusion traps couldn't help but express malice toward us, which is always what tipped us off they were fake. I really liked the chapter when we went back to the human world with Miyuki. It was really touching to see her real personality, confident and determined as opposed to blank and helpless. Then Takuma and Agumon canonically soloed Piedmon, which was cool as hell. I'm glad I played through all 3 normal routes. They all had some nice strong points. The moral route is pretty much how you'd expect the plot to develop. We focus on the professor's past, get Garurumon back, prevent any more deaths, get the Omnimon fusion, defeat the Master, and link the 2 worlds. We're separated from our partners, but things are pretty good. The Wrathful route was unbelievably painful, to the point where I discovered what my response to such moments is. I cover my eyes with my hand and tilt my head down so I can't see most of what's on screen. I did that for both the gameplay and the editing. That said, this is actually my favorite route. It was really engaging and had me on edge. Aoi as the tragic villain was really good. Her kind nature warped her into a terrifying monster. Can't question her methods, that's against the rules. Keep breaking the rules and you're dead. The trophy you get for beating her for the last time is just downright cruel. They really just said, we're gonna rub all the salt we have into this wound. Here's a trophy called So Sorry Sweet Aoi. Why? Haven't we suffered enough at that point? The ending was really cool though. I really want to see a story focused on that kind of scenario. There's a lot of potential there. I feel like the Harmony route has less impact if you play it after the Wrathful route, just because the Wrathful route gets those extra moments while the Harmony route gets nothing. But I did come to appreciate it more after editing the episodes for it. It gives us a lot of insight into Kaido and Miyu's relationship. We see why Miyu's always worried about him even though he's so tough. He doesn't think straight when it comes to her. Beating the crap out of that adult for stalking her? Cool. Beating up another kid her age that was being mean to her? Kinda fucked up. That one was way out of proportion. There was that moment in the flashback where Kaido was like, why can't I see her face? I think Miyu was disappointed and or scared, and Kaido blocked out the memory. Whatever feeling it was, violence is scary, especially when you're young. But her brother enjoys violence and will use her as an excuse to beat someone to a pulp. Likely while she's still there, so she has to watch the whole thing go down. Both Baltamon was great. I loved his design and his voice. He really hammed it up. I think he got 100 times more extravagant after Piedmon took control. It was pretty cool how all 3 routes focused on a fusion with a unique dynamic. Omnimon was made of 2 equals working toward the same goal. Plutomon was made through a desperate wish for unity, with Aoi being the sole consciousness behind it. Both Baltamon was a vehicle fueled by vengeance whose pilot switched when the fuel supply was cut off. The Harmony ending might still be my favorite. It was a fairly peaceful resolution where we still got to stay with our partners. How we acquired that facility will forever be a mystery though. So, I've learned the name of the motif the Sovereign monsters follow. They're called the 4 symbols. I'm starting to recognize them when I see them now. And thanks to this game, I'll be able to remember what direction they're all in. Baihumon, Ebenwumon, Azulongmon, and Yukihamon were all really cool. Azulongmon can go to hell for making me fight him twice with Garurumon though. He's the only one I had to fight more than once, and both times I couldn't use my main party. Personal gripes aside, I can't say it was too unfair though. I did clear it on my first try with a somewhat underpowered party after all. Haruchika's design was really cool. Fanglongmon looked amazing. It's kind of what I was expecting the master to look like to begin with. A big intimidating dragon. I love the bits of red on his dark form, especially on the horns. It's not just a little gradient shifting the color to red. They straight up look like he just used them to stab somebody. Awesome final boss. I feel like the ending for the Truthful route could have been better though. It would have been nice to see how our group was doing. We can kind of guess for some of them. Saki probably went through with her surgery and Kaido probably mellowed out a bit. But what about Minoru? How did things change for him? Was it just back to business as usual? What happens after Shuji talks to his father? How's Miyuki adjusting to the times? It kind of felt unsatisfying to not get a follow-up with anyone we knew. We paved the way for the next generation to meet their partners without issue, but I wanted to be hitting the feels. I didn't feel emotional until after the credits when the title music started playing. I wasn't sure where to talk about this part, but I really liked the different types of mysteries we got. There was stuff we could figure out on our own, stuff that was hinted at but unsolvable, and stuff you straight up can't know about until they tell you. You can figure out Haru and the professor are the same person if you take a good look at their appearance. They even brought up how the professor has the same eyes, which was how I figured it out before they started dropping hints. On the other hand, it's much more difficult to deduce that Haru is actually Renamon in disguise. We have that moment in the waterway where it seems like Renamon was watching Haru and Miyuki from afar, so your brain kind of overlooks the possibility. And the third category is just everything revolving around Haruchika. The early part of this playthrough is always going to hold a special place in my heart. I didn't fully understand what kind of game this was back then. I thought it was going to be like Radiant Historia, a game with bad endings scattered around like landmines, and every choice I make could potentially lead to disaster for any of my characters. That's why I was so on edge when Fangmon was around and after Wendigomon killed Shuji. I'm sure some of you were giggling to yourselves thinking, oh, he doesn't know he's safe until he chooses the path in part 8. After the second route, I realized how the game was structured. Then I could relax and enjoy it a different way. I initially got got this game for the tactics battles. It didn't quite scratch that itch, but I'm a Shining Force fan, so I'm used to longer battles with bigger groups, and the Mugen Recollection might have what I was looking for. I didn't bother to try it because I was really invested in the plot at that point. Some of the free Digimon were really good. War Growlmon did amazing damage. It was on par with War Greymon if I remember right. Then he became even better as Gallantmon, being able to negate stat boosts. Metal Seedramon was really good too thanks to his damage reduction. Overall though, there wasn't much reason to use them unless some party members were just unavailable. They don't provide a talk action, and even worse, you can't use talk actions on them. The music was absolutely perfect. It enhanced every scene so well. Whether the scene was tense, triumphant, or sad, the soundtrack hit the mark every time. Okay, I think that covers everything. Hopefully there wasn't anything I missed, but I wouldn't be surprised because there was so much to cover. I might make a bonus episode at some point for the Mugen Recollection and the memory passages I missed. It would be a shame not to finish those stories. They're not super important, but they did give me some good insight at times. One of them took place during the time frame I thought everything started, but then it showed me that it goes even further back. Also, Agumon unlocked evolution into Fanglongmon, and I didn't have the opportunity to try it out. I talked a lot more than I usually do for these. I probably already started the thumbnail slideshow. If you're still here, thanks for listening to my yapping. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future videos, and remember to leave a like while you're at it. Hope you have a great day. Cue the outro.